colleague Caleb Kuda has joined us in the studio. Caleb, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi,
How
Caleb.
Good morning.
Always good to see you.
Thank you. Same here.
You got in early, I hope.
Yes. Oh, way early.
Yeah.
Way early. Yeah.
So I think that as we were watching these flood waters here, I hate to think if I had left home an hour after I did, because I leave home usually by 4:30. So an hour later it's like 5:30. But I hate to think what would have happened. You know.
Same for me, especially using the stretch that I do. It typically gets flooded around First Light all the way through Kanishi. What I've been doing this week, actually, I don't know, but my body wakes up earlier before the alarm because, and like I'm trying to get in so early so the traffic doesn't consume my fuel, right? So the fuel has been a consideration for coming so early. Then the moment I got towards graphic, then the place was beginning to flood. I quickly just went through that and I got here. So once I got here, it became very intense. Before I knew, I slept off small.
I know, right? This kind of weather. But you've been out and about, you know, pun intended, about town.
Thank you.
You know, checking out what people's everyday lives are like. You know, in this Accra bubble, sometimes you can feel like you're in a bit of a bubble here, not really know what people are going through in different parts of the country.
Correct.
So talk to us about what you saw in Nsawam.
You know, the motivation for Nsawam was recently we did Medina Accra, and we're having I called it a mobile town hall meeting, talking to people, asking them about their rents, their fuel, transportation, life basically. And I thought, well, that was nice. I like the shots, I like the conversation, I like the fact that we're moving, we're getting different locations. And I ran it by someone else, how about we do the train? Okay. And he said, yeah, we could, it's a good idea. And then I asked people on social media when was the last time they jumped on a train. And many people seem to say that they don't remember the last time they saw one move. So we decided, okay, so there's a Nsawam Accra line. Let's get there and check something out.
Oh,
yeah, so we got to Nsawam. And what's amazing about the place, it's quite beautiful. It's not as busy, as chaotic as Accra. Okay, I like the place. It's a bit busy, but not as busy as here.
Okay.
It's really green, and also as it's raining, the air there will be fresh. Well, I didn't see prisoners too, so so we went to the back where you have a lot of warehouses. Some have become churches.
Yeah.
Some of the warehouses have become churches. There was this factory where they assemble tractors. It's decayed now. It's like some way. And then people told me how their lives have been around the railway line, which was the main reason why we went there.
Okay. Yeah. So we've got a report, or an excerpt from your report that we're going to look at.
With the people.
Okay, let's check it out.
Where railway Juma pension? Now we are the importing. What were you doing?
We are working on the track. We are track maintenance.
Track maintenance?
Yes.
So when it deteriorates, then you change it?
Yes.
Okay. So when did you go on pension? Tell me about those days when you were working here and now. Give me an idea.
Oh, now the work is going down. The work going down. So we are expect government to repair the train road for us.
I want you to tell me, in your days when it was more vibrant than now. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
It was more vibrant.
Yes.
Now it's not vibrant. Does it exist at all?
Oh, now the work is not available.
In your days, how was the railway line like, and how did it impact the economy of?
The first time, the railway is very important for us. Now the work going down. So only one we want is government to repair the railway for us. That's all.
When government repairs it and it brings work, how will it help the youth in the neighborhood?
Oh,
yes.
Okay, train kwana kasano. First na train wo ho no. Na.
Me ba cho kasa.
Me de Just say, Brana railway no hono. Na eboa economy ne maye. Waha. If the far passengers from Nsawam to Accra all the time. Na eboa yen papa. Edwuma no. Ese enti no. Ama sisi Nsawam no. Ama bibia collapse.
Nti beka say Nsawam economy na abafom.
Abafem. Ama yen.
And I'm training anya adwuma.
Anya adwuma nti.
And I'm who say ekwan no. In fact, me fa sa kwan so achepa. You do junction so me divert ba and say na me nkai e ba nim kakra na me kai say first ko enkoko na wona mu say afa bebia brodofo no wono abefa prison ho
enkoko kwa na ani.
Said there o ya no afa straight.
Straight.
Unze udu Nsawam junction no ko straight sa kwan ya yama na ye fine. Tell them. But see
Aye train kwan.
Da bi aye
lorry
kwan no.
Overhead.
Enti da bi meti se na omo eto pan no won Nsawam ka se ekwan na ya enti ama traffic mfa bio.
Mfa ha.
Enti ama nneoma ba fom.
Yes. Enti se ubenya sa brodofo no dia. Chese moko aduagiri.
Enti sisi ano ekwan no ya divert. And a railway line no so enya adwuma se na etie mo
yes. Railway kwan de won divert here.
No correct. But enya adwuma.
Enya adwuma.
Na me pese o tramfoni mayen amra one breast so bra na we adwuma actively as maintenance officer. No, track maintenance officer no. Na abrabomu ti say mrantie ne mabawa na mo abrabomu ti say.
Oh, na eye mayen. Na from Kumasi train betu fi Kumasi sa the full staffs beba bese akwa Accra nti na market women say wa ha no wonya induane to wotire mu toma towns no country no yes
tina je say eduane edoso because if Kumasi ne edua ya nkwanta
dia yankwanta nkan
but eduane fi ina hinterland
kofo dua ene asuo yanom nkokọ koni wo dwaso banyina
ninyina na trainer fi Kumasi banka ti ba na fa ha
okay na ko ti kotoku
okay
na wetu
na disisi ade nti na trainer emba bio unim
ane de ni entumi hu nyanti ya trainer emba bio
nanso efi se mampeni akufado aban bae no omo se train no ehu hia pa nti no omo ya ministry minister wo ho ministry wo ho chief director ne nkofo ewo dibre ahodo ewo ho a omo hwe se railway line no be ya mana aye fine dano me ko dwapon you say railway line omo gusu a omo si dwapon hono nti wo be ka se ministry no wahuhu ensunsanso e wo sa
ministry no antuma anye kwa no ani ana eda ho yi antuma anye kwa na eda ho yi
akos me ba me hu se
minister na antuma anye kwa no
hu se nnua wo ho a o mo de be me ka se me hu se So there is a debate. They seem to disagree with him. They are saying that the government has done about 70%.
So there was a whole economy built around a vibrant railway system and good roads, so people would at least use that road. And now...
So back in the 80s, my family, we had extended family that lived in Nsawam and Suhum.
Right.
Okay.
So we would, I don't know how regularly, but I remember, quite often, we would go out to go visit, and then you pass by the railway, you see, and every single time we would see trains, traversing, either coming into Nsawam or driving, riding out of Nsawam. It's kind of painful to see what we've done with the train system.
Or what we haven't done.
Well, you see, we've permitted thieves to steal what it was that we had in terms of the tracks.
Right.
We've abandoned the entire system, and I have my own theories as to why this has happened over the years. But my struggle is, we've talked the talk since the beginning of Nanado's term that we were bringing back the rail.
Yeah. What is
Do you get a sense of a restoration going on in Nsawam? Did you see anything like that?
Okay.
That suggested?
Okay. So earlier on, I was mentioning to you that when I got there, I learned like a chamber and hall self-contained goes about 350 cedis or 400. I mean, so if you're a young family, you could be in Nsawam.
Yeah.
Rent is cheap. You jump on the train, you're in Accra, so you save some money. And if you look at even traffic from Pokwase all the way to Nsawam by road and how bad the state of the road is, and even as it's rained, commuting will be difficult. So if you have staff, I mean, workers coming from that side, you can be sure they're either not coming to work today or they are coming extremely late. So if you have the railway line working, that's a really great advantage for both you as an employer and you as an employee, and all of that life goes on. So I try to go to the railway ministry to find out from them what is really happening with the railway lines, because like I mentioned, when we were in Japan, we saw that the tracks were being done. Yeah. Coincidentally today, the president and some of the officials at the railway ministry are somewhere in the western region. They'll be cutting sod for the extension of some tracks that will be going on there. So some work is ongoing over there. What I understand is that the railway line was fixed and then COVID struck, so for a long time it was not in use, and so by the time we're getting back to it, then some people are stealing some of the tracks, some of the metals that are part of the track. So it means that if you're going to get back, you need to fix all of these before you can actively get the train running, before it derails and it becomes another problem. So that's what I'm learning is the situation. So hopefully by the end of this year, the railway line, because somewhere at Taifa also there was a situation along the line, somewhere stealing and all. So my understanding is that they are working round the clock to ensure that at least we get this running from Nsawam to Accra, and most importantly also Accra to Tema. So we are keeping tabs to see how all that goes, because if it goes really well, that would be a major boost for many people whose lives would really be transformed, when we depend on this railway line. Yeah.
I've seen some photos of the Impakadan stretch.
It looks good.
Which is looking really
well.
looking really nice. I mean, I think that the earlier we get this, sorted, and for the trains to start moving actively.
It will be great. I can't wait.
We need for every place we have a rail line, the trains need to move 2-3 times a day. I mean, seriously, so I the most advanced of countries
you make a lot of savings on transport.
So, yes.
And feel the stress that comes with driving in the city and costing
there
you.
isn't demand for it, which because one would say, oh, maybe people weren't using. No, there's always demand for railway transport everywhere in the world. That's how people move.
Yeah.
So you wonder, why do people not see the need to invest further in this system over all the years to let this die and now have to invest even more just to revive or revamp something that was already there.
The fact that there's now a ministry dedicated to that, I think is great. It's an acknowledgement that we really need this. When I went to the ministry, I saw a lot of maps and I saw videos of how some work are ongoing. The problem with the train is that what we call work is done is the train moving.
Yes.
So over the years, you must have done a lot of tracks, several kilometers, but we want to see the train, then we know that you're working. Yeah. But I think the PR department there also needs to put in a lot more to let people know how far they are going and courts the support of the people who live around these places. Because some people in Japan, for example, they told us that the tracks block their passageway to the farms. so their produce is stuck up in the farm and all of that. I mean, you need to be engaging with the people. They tell us they have some security men who go there every now and again, but you have a broader populace you need to be dealing with, and you need to be engaging. Let people know what you were doing.
But a farm gate is not, a farm area is not difficult to handle.
I mean, it shouldn't be.
You have the rail guards, you know, and whenever there's a train coming through,
they alert
you alert them. You bring down the crash barriers and all of those things. It's a life.
So you really know the Keteke story?
No.
I really want to experience Ghana
I've lived in an
Keteke.
era where trains were working in Accra.
It should.
Listen,
and then we have the challenge of encroachers as well. If you go around it, because it's not been so actively done.
It's because it's not been active.
So people had their
on the railway line.
I almost say as well.
So orientation is also needed for people to understand why there needs to be a wide berth given to those railway tracks, and we need a maintenance plan as well for the trains, for the tracks, and surveillance for people to steal railway tracks. Charlie, do they not understand the ramifications of that? You know, a lot of education is also needed for this, for people to understand.
I think we all need to support this and make it work. You know,
how are we going to support it and make it work?
So that we don't encroach, for example, we don't.
No, but I'm not going to encroach.
That's our responsibility.
How are we going to support?
Using this medium to let our viewers who live around or you're close or you have family, just engage them, let them know that this is for our good. So please don't steal for scraps or something, and then also do not encroach, right? Because essentially it's going to cost a whole lot of money to now recompensate or relocate people who have now built their homes so close to railway lines such that it's dangerous to operate it. I mean, if you encroach it, it will make it difficult for the whole system to run. So, I mean, we also have a responsibility to make sure that we don't steal the stuff, the tracks, one, and then two, we don't encroach. And then number three, we need the government to speed up really. I mean, really speed up and engage people some more. We're expecting
the PR department has a lot of work to do.
It should be up running soon.
All right. Well, we want to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Let's take